With you. John Simbe, please change your intro. Good evening, welcome aboard.
Good evening, Andrew. Good evening, Albert. Good evening, Brian. Well, what a weekend it has been.
Yeah.
So much sporting action, and I'm telling you, so much to talk about.
As of 1st of February, that is the situation
That's
over
Saturday,
in Western Uganda.
As of Saturday.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yesterday,
yesterday. Yeah.
This is how fights come. We simply have to wait and see. But as you said, if by August it's done and dusted, yes, will not be used for Chan. But what a pace that will be by Suma. We shall discuss a bit of facilities a bit later, so do stick around. John Simbe, I'll start off with you. Your week.
Well, my week was from the basketball circles, and it was the signings that were made by the Namongo Blazers earlier in the week. What a blockbuster move, I must call it. It was one of those news that was presented out to the media, and it was pleasantly surprising, I must say, but also one that you feel that is a game changer for the way the game of basketball is in the country. Of course, especially after you consider the kind of dominance that City Oilers has had over the last 10 or so years.
Yeah.
To have the Namongo Blazers sign players that you would say are legends at City Oilers, you think that they are going to really shift the pendulum now. Clearly, this is a very big move for the Namongo Blazers, going to make them much stronger, but also, most importantly, more competitive. And I'm sure that for the many fans out there that maybe had become a little bit fatigued with the league because of how predictable it had become, now they'll feel that there's something to look forward to, and maybe somebody to really challenge the City Oilers to give them some sense of excitement and predictability and much to look forward to.
Yeah, Albert, we're also hearing, I mean, this is news coming to our desk as it stands, that Jimmy and Abu, Peter Obleng, and a certain Joel Banza could as well. Of course, none of this is confirmed. Actually, my sources today do tell me Jimmy and Peter are done, but Banza could be the next. You think this could change, obviously, how the league is played next season, or the Oilers have another card and they haven't shown it yet?
Obviously, this will change how the league goes. It's going to be very weird to see those guys in a Blazers jersey in a game against Oilers. It's going to be really, really strange to see.
Any game. Just especially this red jersey here.
Yeah.
It's seeing Tony and Oxy and Jimmy in that red jersey is going to be very, very, very new, but also very refreshing to the league. Maybe the league was due some drama. The league was due a new twist, some fun, because surely one club winning the league for 10 years on the trot doesn't say very good things about the rest of the competition. And for me, people can talk about all sorts of things like these guys being has-beens or whatever, because I've seen some people on social media say these guys, they are old. Someone even went as far as saying they are leftovers.
Right.
I don't believe that. I still think, especially Jimmy and Tony, those two are still the best guards we have in the country.
That's true.
For sure.
Yeah.
I don't care how old they are still the best guards in the country, especially at that point guard position. You can add Fayed, you can add a few other guys, but for me, those two are still. And if there's anyone who knows anything about winning in basketball in Uganda, nobody knows more about winning than those two at the right-hand side of the picture and Jimmy and Abu, for sure.
Brian, if this is a growing league, and Vianney talked about the fact that, of course, the Oilers have dominated it for long, which always takes a bit of steam away. Listen, if I'm Fuba, and this is free advice, you don't have to pay us for it. If I'm Fuba, opening day, now Blazers Oilers.
But it's always been the case. I think defending champion up against the big ball,
Yeah.
any other big team, it's always been the case. So whether it's the first game or whichever, it will be a big game. But
And now the big boys have reduced by one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when you talk about them going for Banza and Peter Obleng, now that's where I think Nam Blazers completely get their business wrong. If you're going for Jimmy and you have Tony, why on earth are you going for Banza? To do what?
Yeah.
To bench him? You expect him to sit on the bench? You expect to sit Jimmy on the bench? I didn't even see why they brought Sebagara, because Sebagara, for the biggest part I saw him, he was playing as a number one. He's never going to start ahead of Tony. Even if he's played as a two. If you sign Jimmy and Tony, that means both are going to start. So where do you put Sebagara? And the reason why I'm talking about the Sebagara boys, because the boys had this young boy.
Blair.
And I've never understood why they continue signing big name players without giving Blair a chance. I think he's a decent player. You don't
He's
grow
a
him.
good player.
Yeah, you don't grow him by sitting him. And for me, that's why I've always had an issue with the way now Blazers do business. It's just not a matter of getting big names. Even with signing Tony, Jimmy, Oxy, and Mujisha is a good player. Very good addition in there. Oilers are going to start the season as favorites.
Yeah.
So we don't know what sort of business Oilers are going to do. But let's not forget.
I know
they
for sure
have
they
showed-
are getting Edgar Mnava.
They have showed that they're a good team that can do things the right way in this league. The challenge with the Blazers, until we see what happens until the end of the season, we can't be so sure. Because we've seen them sign big name players, then
Not
halfway
not
the-
this big, though.
No. There have been big name players. Of course, not this big.
Yeah.
The issue is not about even now the quality of players, but the problems that come with it. Halfway the season, you're hearing there's no money, someone hasn't been paid, then this is going up. So if that is sorted, the caliber of players have signed in Tony, if Jimmy also joins, and Oxy, definitely different caliber because of their experience, winning mentality, and everything that they come with. And they definitely still have a point to prove. So there will be a difficult team to beat with those three. But you have to sort the management bit. You have to organize them well on court. Because if Tony and Jimmy and Oxy are the ones going to be playing and at the same time do a bit of coaching, then you're giving them too much. So Esco has to do his job and he has to do it right. You must have the right balance. Your rotation has to be right. Then you can go at the Oilers. Because Oilers have always thrived on proving people wrong. Even now, I'm sure they've been seeing the news, the buzz, talk about them losing finally, and they are saying, all right, let's wait and see what happens. So it will be quite interesting to see what sort of business the Oilers will do.
Guess who was doing that? The let's wait and smack you in the mouth. Those guys.
Yeah.
All right. But even the management too.
So I hope you know.
Even the management.
Those guys.
Even the management too. They talk, by the way, the big talk starts with the management.
Yeah.
They talk. We know Haji loves this sort of conversation.
That's
They'll be
true.
saying, I'm
That's
waiting
true.
for you.
That's
Let's see
true.
what you have.
All right, there you go. That is the big story for John Vianney Nsimbe, and it's coming in from Abja Park. Great stuff. Listen, we are winning it this season. Telling you now. Take it to the bank. Whichever bank you prefer.